Alright guys, it is time for Jess and I to hike the Grand Canyon. After all, it is the main attraction for our month-long stay here in Flagstaff. Now, today's trail is a beast. 16 miles with 4,500 feet in gain. Disclaimer, Jess and I haven't hiked that distance, let alone that gain, in a hot minute. Can we actually do it, or will we have to turn around? Welcome back to the channel, guys. If you are new here, my name is Trey, and me and my fiance have been touring the States for a little over a year now.
Alright guys, it is 5:15 a.m. and we got up this early so we can get a good head start on the day. I'm a little tired though, and I gotta take my Claritin because I've been having sinuses for the past like 3-4 weeks, and they're getting a little bit better, but I'm just gonna take it just in case. We have Italian sweet cream and French vanilla. Which one do you prefer? French vanilla? Just cause it's zero sugar, huh?
I typically don't drink coffee before hikes because, well, you know how it is. You end up having to use the bathroom like 20 times on trail.
So we're heading to a national park today. The dogs can't come with us, and in honor of that, I did get them a few little treats yesterday, so they can have something to chew on all day because they're gonna be bored. There you go, he accepts. All right, folks. Polka, do you accept my peace offering? Accepted. Hey Siri, take me to the Grand Canyon.
Getting directions to Grand Canyon National Park.
All right, we got an hour and 15 minutes. That is perfect.
Most of this year, outside of Big Bend, we have spent in near freezing temperatures, which is sort of a good test for Jess and I, because we have always had this thought of putting roots in a place that has a colder climate. Being from central North Carolina, we don't really have much of a winter, and our pups can't really be outside after March. But experiencing cold weather since November, we are kinda ready for t-shirt weather again. The silver lining today is we don't have to face extreme heat while hiking, which is what the Grand Canyon is known for in the summer.
The beauty of all trails is you can download offline maps, and for this one, we may need it.
Coming up on our first ever view of the Grand Canyon. And this overlook is absolutely stunning, which gives our first glance at the trail we're taking on today. I really see the hype around this place, and why it's well known on an international scale. With this beauty and history, people all around the world come visit. You might be wondering, what trail are you guys hiking today? The Bright Angel Trail that takes you all the way down to the Colorado River.
Officially at the Bright Angel Trailhead. Takes you all the way down to the Colorado River and back, and you pass by the Havasupai Gardens.
On par with the reviews, the beginning is fairly crowded, but we do expect the herd to thin out as we go further down.
Out of this area in northern Arizona and southern Utah, we have seen Zion, Bryce, the Wave. What's that we've seen over here? I think that might be it. Yeah, so the arches, we have seen arches. And, you know, coming into this, I was thinking that the Grand Canyon probably wasn't gonna wow me as much, but I don't know. It's pretty spectacular, guys. It's beautiful.
The further down we go, the more we sort of grasp the scale of the canyon, with the rock walls starting to really tower over us.
You ever have that moment of realization of like, man, this is gonna be a day? Do you guys see that little squiggly line way down there? That's where we gotta go. And then some. Jess, how you feel about that?
I want you to put your step on it.
Put the step on it? All right.
There is not a bad turn on this hike. Every switchback you take, you kinda just wanna pause and take it all in.
Been on trail for about 30 to 40 minutes now, and we're still going down, and it doesn't look like it's gonna end anytime soon, so I just know this way back up is going to be treacherous, to say the least. They look like ants, and that's where we gotta go.
Fortunately for all visitors of this trail, there are stops along the way for water and restrooms, I think they're named by the mile, like mile 1 house or mile 2 house or something like that.
All right, so breaking out of the jacket, man. So we're about to hit the sun, and yeah, it's gonna get a little warmer.
The trail is also full of surprises, like this herd of mules heading down trail. Honestly, I would be a bit nervous considering the narrow trails beside the cliffs.
So Jess and I have made it to one of our first official overlooks. I mean, the trail has overlooks essentially everywhere, but this is a point that you can come take photos and have a little bit of fun and have a little snack break. But this is just absolutely stunning.
Once we reached the valley bed, it warmed up about 10 degrees from up top, and the views are just as incredible.
Jess and I have officially made it down to where it levels out, and you just kind of go for a few miles.
The ground.
The ground level, I guess the valley is what we'd call it.
Making great timing to make it down to the Colorado River today, which feels really good. But something unexpected happened as soon as we reached the Havasupai Gardens.
We're here by the ranger station now, and we got stopped by one of the rangers, and they were asking us, which direction are we going? And we told them we're going to go down to the Colorado River, and they said this access point through this trail is closed. You would have to kind of make a bypass, and it would add an additional about 6-7 miles to the trail, which we are not prepared for time-wise today. That would put us around 20 to 23 miles total for the hike.
Double checking the map to see if there are any alternate trails that would take us to the river.
All right, guys, so we are here, and this construction right here marks the furthest we can go on the planned trail, because ideally we were trying to go from here all the way down the Right Angel Trail to the river. But as you can see, it's marked out, all of that is closed. So we were trying to make it to the Colorado River, but it's closed.
So it's time to find a shady tree and have some lunch to figure out our next steps and mainly prepare for this 5-mile trek back uphill.
What would you rate the trail so far out of 10?
Like a 7, 8.
7 to 8? That's pretty high for Jess. She hardly ever gives the trail that high of a rating.
Have you heard of any trails that have 5 miles of pure incline at once? This is going to be a tough uphill battle.
So if you're like me and wondering if this trail required permits, just know that day hiking in the Grand Canyon does not require permits. It is backpacking. And if you want to raft down the river, Colorado River, you need permits for that. If you're just day hiking, you're free to come on in. Not sure if you guys can see that flag. There is a flag on that point right there. That's where we're going. The incline, and yeah, I'm sweating a little bit. Not even gonna lie, the sun has come out in full force, and we're going through it, the initial stages. I'll check in with you here in a minute.
So far, Jess is doing much better than I am. Her Stairmaster training is definitely paying off, but it's cut short due to a mule blockage.
All right, Jess, we're about a third of the way up. How you feel?
With a good pace, it's not too bad.
Not too bad?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you definitely consume a lot more water, obviously, on the way up than you do going down. I think I took like 1 sip on the way down.
I took no sips.
Yeah, this is the Avengers right here. She took no sips on the way down. And I am chugging a little bit. I am on my second bottle, about halfway through, coming on the way up. And this station here is the first one you're gonna reach on the way up.
I think there's 2 more? 1 more?
Well, this is the first one coming up, but the water is shut off here until the last freeze of the year. But by the time, summer rolls around, everything should be open back up. Kind of go all the way up there, all the way back up there, and somehow make it up there.
Now midway through the climb, my lungs are fine, but my hips and lower back are starting to really feel the burn.
Yeah, so we do cut their hair. But we do it for a reason. So now it has to do with
what's
the
up,
feet,
man?
believe it or not.
All right, I see why when we were coming down and people were going up, they would have a blank, expressionless face, heavy panting.
They're focused.
Focused, man. Yeah, the warning signs that you see at the beginning of the trail, they're real. We made it to mile 3 house, and I'm gonna check and see if they have water. I doubt it, but we just have to keep on going. Yep, so just still got to shut off for the season.
Nearly back at the top, which is a good time to check and see how far we've gone.
Excuse the heavy breathing, but that's where we came from. The trees, that little patch of trees down there, that's where we came from.
At last, victory. Coming back up that behemoth of a climb, Jess and I could not have imagined what it would feel like attempting the entire trail, and our final mileage for the day is 10.14 miles.
Jess and I have agreed that we need to do at least one long hike like this per month. Because even though, we're in a gym where we're at now in Flagstaff, we have a Planet Fitness that we can go to during the week. It's still just not enough.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah, she saw some improvement this time around. She was
I've been
beating
on the
me.
Stairmaster for minimum an hour a day.
Yeah, and I noticed it because I could barely keep up with this one.
All in all, this was an incredible trail. Just a bummer that we couldn't go all the way down, as we were really looking forward to the Colorado River. We have about another week here in Flagstaff before we move on to one of our favorite places in the lower 48, Yosemite National Park. And thank you guys for hanging out with us today, and we will see you next week. Peace out and much love.